Hi, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Liv.
And this is the Mach-E vlog. Today we are coming to you from Electrify Expo, San Francisco. It's the day before it gets started. We're going to take a preview and bring you along with us.
So let's go. We walked all our way down to the very end of the expo. We can see the San Francisco skyline to the left of us. It looks amazing. Behind us is the USS Hornet, the site of where we're going to be having our Cars and Coffee with Ford in the morning. But we wanted to take you on this super sweet media preview before everything happens. It's going to be, I think it's going to be packed. It's going to be amazing.
Tomorrow's going to be packed, but today it's empty. They're still setting up. So let's go for a stroll. And we're starting down here where they are doing test drives. They will be doing test drives Saturday and Sunday. Behind us is Arias over in front. We're going to go ahead and flip around. And Tesla, apparently this is like one of the first sites they're going to have the Cybertruck doing tours. Or little drives, so that's really exciting. By the way, before we get started, this is something that's totally not Electrify Expo, but if you see those little sailing fins over there, I just found out those are US Navy Saildrones that they are developing, working on, like autonomous drones, I believe, that are going to be used for mapping projects. And then of course you can see the Hornet behind. I don't know hardly anything about the Saildrones, but I'll put a link down below and we can all read up on it.
We saw a whole bunch of buildings that said Saildrone as we were coming up, and I just thought it was like, I don't know, a restaurant.
Yeah.
This is super cool though. This whole expo is interesting because it's long. So we're going right along the water here. The test tracks are all the way at the end. Obviously we have the VinFast VF8s. I love that we have the full color lineup, by the way. We have the VinFast blue and then the orange, which I really like. It's like a sunset.
Orange.
Yeah. Actually, do we have the spring roll color? If you don't know.
We do not.
Francie with Out of Spec was driving VF8 in whatever their green is. It's actually kind of similar to Eruption Green. She was in our last Electrify Expo video in Denver. So we don't see that color here, but here's their VinFast booth.
And they're still setting up. So like Lucid is going to be here. They also don't have the cars over here. I think they're all over in their booth area and they'll move them out.
It was kind of cute because they really are still setting up. Like we went and took some photos in front of the Hornet and a VF8 came up and they're like, we don't know where to go. Do you know where we go? We have Kia over here, which is super cool. A couple EV9s.
They also have apparently a Sportage hybrid. So
interesting. We actually have did you have a video on that?
I do not think so, no.
I have an article on that if you're interested. So did we say Porsche will be here? Because they will.
Porsche's going to be here. I haven't seen any Porsches out yet. We have a BMW lineup with the i4, i5s. It looks like an i7 and an iX. So they have their full lineup out here if you want to go take a test ride. I think they're letting you drive too. I'm not sure.
I do think so because I saw it was, well, a Cybertruck test drive, so everyone must be doing. Obviously we have Ford here, we have the Mach-E's, we have this beautiful shadow black, rapid red, another shadow black, vapor blue, and then of course the super bright yellow grabber yellow rally.
It's over like stuck in the middle right now. And
then we have a lightning in the ice blue metallic, which is now like a discontinued color in the Mach-E, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Is it discontinued in lightning too?
I do not know.
I just thought about that.
Here comes a BMW coming down.
Look at that color.
That is not.
That's so pretty.
That is not.
This is so fun watching the setup.
Not an EV, but that's okay.
No, it's a cool color.
So it's really neat because basically you can get behind the wheel, take some of these out on a little test drive area, but there are also some other more exciting things that we're going to get to.
And should we flip and look at us?
Yeah, let's, while we're in the boring section.
Hello.
You just saw there were some Volvos there as well. So Hyundai's getting ready to set up. So there's a decent amount of manufacturers that you can come out here and take test rides with.
And I'm curious because in Denver, Hyundai had a ton of the Ioniq 5N, so their performance version. which was interesting because the track was not in any way performance, but it was cool to see them giving people the opportunity to spend some time in like their most souped up one. We actually just finally spent some time in the Ioniq 5. I loved it. I would like to try the N, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and just check this out. I'm gonna flip around real quick.
Drive me today.
So of course they have the Toyota BZ4X and a Prius, but this is their hydrogen electric vehicle. So very interesting to see that out here. From what I understand, they're basically almost giving them away because there's nowhere to refuel them, even out here in California. So I might want to try and just drive that to see what it's like. I've never been behind a wheel. I forget how to say the name. It's Mirai or something like that. Mirai, yeah.
Mirai, that's it.
Liv always knows how to pronounce it.
I don't know, or I'm totally wrong. Correct us if we're totally wrong.
Okay, we're gonna move to the next section.
What's up? This is Matt Jaskol, and we are in front of a Mach-E that he's gonna be ripping around this hot lap for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Matt, he treated us to a hot lap in Denver, and we're gonna go for one right now. So let's do it.
You guys ready?
Yep. Yeah.
Countdown.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Countdown.
Oh, 3. Oh! Oh my God. That was awesome. Okay, oh my goodness, that was so much fun. Matt, did you go harder?
No, I mean, every time we go hard, every lap.
Every time?
No, maybe not every time. There's a lot to the job, right? But knowing you guys, I met you folks in Denver,
Yeah.
and you got to be here early. There's nobody around,
It's
so
so awesome.
I pushed pretty hard. So we got to test the track, right? We got to
yeah.
make sure the track's good to go. So yeah, we went pretty hard. That's about 90%.
90%?
Yeah.
But I feel like you listen to people, right? Because I've heard you guys say before, someone comes and they're like, can you go a little easy? Go a little easy. If someone's like, I want a wild ride, you do a wild ride.
Absolutely. That's part of the deal. Well, I'll do about 500 laps a day. So usually we have 2 pro drivers. As you guys know, Andre, usually it's Andre and I. This week it'll be Nick Strickland and I. And so we'll do about 500 laps each. Which is insane. We'll do well over 1,000 people each day, so about 500 laps each, and you can't be on every single lap. I mean, the tires are changing. Believe it or not, just like a racetrack, we'll start to put a groove of rubber. The track will start to change, and like you said, we'll get little kids and we'll get children in the car. We're allowed to take up to I think 8 years old and up, and so depending on the group or the people. We'll try to, highlight different features of the car. Somebody might say, I don't want to go too crazy. I want to see how the handling feels. So maybe I'll just drive not so much like drifting, exciting, and just a little bit more of the grip. So I change it depending on the person. Somebody will sit down and say, convince me I made a mistake about my Tesla. And so that's when we go 105% to really show them.
Can you convince us right now? Let's go again. I love that. That's super awesome. And you've been doing this a while, right?
Yeah. A couple, this will be counting today. So all my life, I mean, I've been a professional race car driver my entire life. I'm almost 40 years old. I started at only 10, and my career goes pretty extensive, as far back as I was an ex-F1 development driver for Red Bull.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then I was lucky enough, racing NASCAR last couple of years. I was doing NASCAR Truck and Xfinity Series in 2021, 2022. Uber Eats and DoorDash, but they wouldn't have me. So fastest Uber Eats and DoorDash driver in all the West Coast.
I love that. That's awesome. So that's really comforting because we'll tell people how amazing a hot lap is, that you have to come try it. And some people are nervous. It looks a little scary, but trust me, their drivers are pro. Matt is a super pro. This is our second ride with you, and that was such a delight. And I really love that this is just a stock car.
This is stock off the showroom.
We have this.
Yeah.
You can get this.
Tires and all.
Cool.
It's on the Pirellis that you would buy it off the showroom. This is the 2024. The 2024 is pretty amazing. It does have 100 more foot-pounds of torque than the 2023, so 700 foot-pounds of torque, which is quite impressive. I mean, that's amazing.
That is actually really cool, though, because you've been doing hot laps, I assume, in continual generations of Mach-E's. Have you been feeling that change as they've evolved and upgraded?
Absolutely. It's a huge difference. The handling, the integrity of the drive is the same. it's just adding more power, and so the drivability is still there. And you know how car manufacturers might say, oh, we added more power. No, this is 100. I mean, and you feel every extra foot-pound of torque, and it does make the drive quite more exciting. But again, you can put it in that, we run it in unbridled, that is like the track mode. You can run it in unbridled, engage, and and you would never know that you have that much power. That's what makes it. Well, I want one. I'm trying. I've been talking to
really?
Oh my God, I've been talking to the executives trying to see what kind of deal can I get? Because I genuinely fell in love with it. And as a daily driver is what I would love it for, because you can you could cruise on the road, but when you want to turn it up, the power's there immediately. So that's what makes it a lot of fun. Yeah,
that's what we love it for too. It's playful and it's a great daily driver, and obviously it's something that you can have a whole lot of fun with. And it's really cool to see them put it through their paces here, because Matt was sharing with us before, like, you are going through tires, everything about the car is changing. You're putting it through lots of stress and heat and everything like that. So it's almost like you're experiencing months of use within a day.
And that's something else I can speak on. As a professional racing driver, what has actually been super impressive is we have genuinely been abusing these things city after city after city. And we are pushing so hard, and the reliability has been insane. It's been absolutely amazing, in all the different climates. We were in Denver where it was 100 degrees, density altitude is 8,500 feet. There's no air. We've been, rain, even some wet conditions. Really, we were in Phoenix, Arizona, dirt, dust, again, 100+ degrees, and we're constantly charging and cycling them through. And the reliability, we still have some of the same vehicles from the beginning of the tour. And the reliability has been very impressive. So,
that's awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad we got this amazing treat. I can't wait to see people having a great time with you, thrilling them.
Yes.
And thanks for chatting with us, Matt.
Thanks. Good to see you folks again. And we'll see, maybe sneak in the car again tomorrow.
Oh.
Right.
Okay, extra bonus coverage. If you guys have watched our previous videos, we've gotten thrill rides with Andre before. I believe the first time was in Charlotte, maybe.
Charlotte was the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are like the pro out here that's, we got to ride with a pro driver, but you're the pro that puts all this together.
Maybe I say maybe I'm the older one. I'm the older guy. But so I've been doing this for so long. Also, those guys been start racing when they was very young as well. Even if you are 35 years old like Matt is, they been racing since they was 5 years old.
Yeah.
So we've been a lot of experience to do a lot of different type of events. Yeah.
Now the thrill ride is a bit different because it's a very taxing little bit of a course for the car, and people might not be expecting what they're going to be throwing around in, but you guys have really ratcheted it up.
Yeah, they got very excited about, especially with acceleration. You do 0 to 6 in 3.5 seconds in the new 2024, which we increase it to 635 pounds of torque to 700 pounds of torque.
Yeah.
So they really, wow, you got a lot of wow all the time. So most of the time I say, are you guys ready? Before I finish, you ready? I'm ready, accelerate. So, so they have a lot of fun, yeah.
So, and I think one of the things that's really cool is Ford has said it, so like if you're 8 and up, and every time we come out here and we see the thrill rides and we see like the 8-year-olds getting excited about getting in the car, that must be like, do you get a special extra thrill when you see like a family jumping in with a couple of kids in the back?
Yeah, the kids are so excited, especially today with the video games home. They get used to with speed at very young, early ages. So they come over here, we raise the seat for them on the front, so make sure they can see.
Nice.
So they have they love it. They have a good time, yeah.
Has anyone gotten out and going like, oh my gosh, I hated that?
No, I don't have nobody that say, hey, I got some people, I got one that he was like, oh my God, this is too much for me. I don't, he was, but I think he just finished lunch the other day.
Yeah, I would definitely skip lunch before I did this. But well, it's another weekend. I know you guys do about 500 a day.
Yes, yeah, we do about 1,000 a day.
1,000 a day. That's right, 500 per driver, right?
Yes, yeah, it's 500. So we do, our average number is about 1,000 each day.
That's amazing.
Which is about 500 each of the drivers. Yeah, and we go from open to close, and we never stops.
I know every time we've come by at Denver, Long Beach, there's always a line, but you guys move through quick. So like if you do come out and you see that there's a line, the ride is really quick. You're taking 3 people at a time. Up to 3 people at a time.
Yeah, so the timing, it's about the timing we leave over here, P lane, and go to acceleration and come right back to drop it off. It's about 34 seconds.
That's so quick.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can move through a lot of people.
Oh, we move a lot.
You see the line, just hop in line.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
have a thrill.
And you can do as many times you want to, which is great.
Ooh, we might come back tomorrow and do a couple of laps.
Yeah,
all right.
do that.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Well, that was such a super awesome surprise to get a hot lap because they're setting up everything. They're also setting up the e-bikes over here, so there's not that much out yet.
Yeah, I'll flip around and we'll show you like what they're. Oops.
Whoop.
There we go. Yeah, they're literally setting up. So there's quite a few companies that are going to be out here. There's P51, Stromer, I don't even know.
Rad
Power, Go Tracks. So it's
E-Volt.
really cool to see everybody setting up. But what's even better is like over there where there's loud music, so we're not going to go in that direction. They have like courses, so you can take them out for free test rides, as he's putting up the sign right there. But it's not only e-bikes, it's e-scooters.
And as you can see, like some people testing.
Yeah.
Right, there might also be media and filming stuff, so I bet there's going to be some super cool videos.
And I think they do some like racing things as well. So it's it's just fantastic. And then like with that background with the Hornet back there, it's just super cool. This is such a great location, great temperatures. And a lot of e-bike companies. And one of the things I've been telling people is like, if you go to an e-bike store, you may get 1 or 2 brands, but there's going to be dozens of brands out here. So it's just absolutely really cool.
Yeah, super cool. And if you're ever curious about any e-bike, this is an excellent opportunity to come and test them out here. I like there's a sign, mopeds, e-bikes, kick scooters. Mopeds are cool too, e-mopeds. Shall we go onwards?
Yeah, let's go.
This is a rare moment. This is Lightship behind us. They obviously have a new flagship facility in Broomfield, Colorado, but they also have one here, right?
I have no idea. I know the one in Broomfield where they're assembling and putting the Lightship together. There we go. Now you can see the between us.
I think they actually have one here as well. I'll correct myself. You correct me. Whatever. But normally these guys are flooded with people. Lightship is such a hot topic. Kind of off-grid stuff like this is a hot topic in general. So that is the section we're at right now. We have the big honkin' Lightship, and then to Patrick's right, we have Polydrop. If you want a smaller option, Polydrop's kind of a fun memory for me because in Denver it was so hot that they used their onboard electric power AC to rescue a baby that was overheating.
And one of the neat things about this is they're using, if I can see up here, solar cells. And I believe...
There we go.
There we go. From Aptera. So very neat to see Aptera cells being used. Aptera is making a 3-wheel EV that gets extremely high mileage whenever they actually get into production. So let's quickly show you over here. This is part of the Electrify show-off section. There's going to be more vehicles here, but there's going to be like specially wrapped Teslas. There's going to be Cybertrucks with extra stuff added onto it. Rivian.
It's kind of cool because I think we're starting to recognize some of the vehicles that we've seen last time. We saw a Tesla that we've seen at Tesla takeovers. So a lot of cool people seem to have made the journey out here.
Exactly. And there's also like tire companies out here talking about their EV specific tires. There's more off-roading stuff. Motorrad, a little BMW scooter, not scooter, electric motorcycle. So very cool. And then we'll swing around. There's some more Electrify show-off vehicles around over here. And as Liv was saying, like that one with the SpaceX logo on the side, we saw at Tesla Takeover last year. But just really great to see people starting to modify, customize their EVs and do an Electrify show-off.
Indeed.
We skipped over a little bit of stuff. They had some it looked like high school EV education classes. Our apologies, but there was like super loud music, so we couldn't really film there. But
our friend Tesla Tim was there with his car and Electrify show-off. It was actually the Tesla we recognized. He has an honorary fancy pony because he's such a cool dude who supports all EVs.
Yeah, they have an EV6 as well, but he has this Tesla here. But now we're gonna hit the OEM section as well. And this is where you can come out and see so many cool brand new EVs from several different manufacturers. And I hear that this is the most OEMs they've had.
11, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna go check them out right now.
Once again, Anchor is sponsoring, so there's not going to be any loud generators. The loudness will just be stuff like that. You won't have to deal with that. But let's continue onwards. Next to Anchor is VinFast, of course. We actually helped direct them when they were coming in because they didn't know where the entrance was.
Some of the booth people were like, how do I get into Electrify Expo? And another little side note is if you watched our road trip video on the way up here, like we passed these vehicles, they were on the truck, and you'll recognize the one with the wrap on the bottom.
Let's go up to it. It's so cool.
It was on a vehicle hauler, and like we passed it a couple of times because like we stopped and charged and then we passed it again. So,
and to be totally honest, when I saw this, I thought it was a camo wrap, and they just did it kind of artistically. So it's really cool to see this here now. They have like a little, I don't know, would we call it a beachy scene with the
floral?
Yeah, floral with the chairs and everything. So maybe that's the vibe they're going for. But they have the VF9 and the VF8.
Nissan is here, and like this is what's really sort of cool because they have the Leaf, they have the Aria. They're making a lot of noise over there, but you can see they have one of their Formula E cars. That's super neat to see. Liv caught them like pushing it over here to get it into position, but just neat to see Formula E. And if you haven't checked out Formula E, it's a really cool little racing series that they have going. And of course, Formula One is trying to get more environmental. So that's part of where some of that stuff is going.
And you're talking with a big old Cybertruck in the video. So we might as well mention that Tesla's here. They're doing the Cybertruck test drives, as we mentioned before. This is a Foundation series. And they have a whole
This one's all dirty. You can see how dirty it is.
Oh, yeah.
But that one back there is a lot cleaner. And then, of course, they have their whole lineup, which one really cool thing over there is they have the Tesla Semi. We've seen it in other places, but not at an Electrify Expo before. So I'm really excited to see that.
That is a cool thing to have at a consumer show. Because I think, oh, there's a car right behind you. We saw the Tesla Semi at the ACT, the Advanced Clean Transportation Expo. Yes. I got it right. Which like makes sense. There was a lot of fleet stuff. So it's cool to see them bringing out something like that here. Lucid is just cruising behind us.
Yeah, the Lucids are all getting in position. I think what they're doing is like the ones over here are the ones that are on display, and they're taking the other Lucids down to where you can go take them on a test drive in that area that we were in previously.
What is this though? Can we go look?
At least stick our head in. I don't know if it's open yet.
It's a Lucid Airstream. I don't know what this means. Is it electric? I don't think so.
No, I don't think it's electric, but I think it's just their like showroom.
Oh, I'm popping in. Ooh.
We'll just show just briefly.
Cool.
Just a little bit of a showroom here.
So they have like a driver set up. You can test it out. I think I actually recall them having this in their showroom. We went to their showroom in Chelsea, New York.
Yes.
And they had the driver test. So this is kind of a cool way to do it. Sort of like the Volvo one, which hopefully we'll get a chance to go pop in and show you guys. But let's get out of here.
So Rivian is here. Unfortunately, they don't have the R3 out here, but they do have the refreshed R1S. Very cool to see them bringing the refreshed R1S out here, but they also have the R2 prototype out here. This will have so much attention tomorrow. It's really nice to be able to at least walk up and see it now. I'm gonna have Liv come over here and at least show the steering wheel. It has like the new controls on the steering wheel with those big wheels there. A lot of really cool functionality in those, and I like the design that they're so big, but it's really loud here, so we're gonna skip down.
I will say, by the way, I'm sad that they don't have the R3, but I'm glad because it's not available. So it's not gonna steal the spotlight.
Okay, it's loud over here, so I'm gonna quickly, while there's between songs, but everybody's seen the Taycan, which I love the Taycan so much. This is the refreshed Taycan, and there's a purple one over here that I really love. But the electric Macan is out on display. This is the first time I've seen one in person, and it looks beautiful. A lot of people are like, you know, it has a little bit of a roundish, you know, bubbly shape, but everything in person comes together really well with the little accents down here to like make it look a little bit less fat, but the curves are really nice, and just some of the extra details that they have in like the rear with the brake lights and the fake air vent, not a real air vent back here, but it really brings everything together really well. Some of those like extra little styling cues.
This is my jam.
Yeah, Liv is
Can you
like
try the door? Please try the door.
I don't think we're allowed.
This is my jam right here. This is, I like this.
Can we just do some quick B-roll of the purple one?
We're just gonna go stroll a little quickly over here. So obviously Porsches, you can customize, make them exactly like you want. And if you really want, you could get this. We're just gonna like stick the camera quickly through here so we don't have to go walk the whole way around. But that is pretty. That is really pretty. All right, let's get out of here. All right, now we are in Hyundai. We're hiding from the loud music, but I'm surrounded by Ioniq 5s. These aren't just any Ioniq 5s. That one is one of the ones that went up Pikes Peak. They actually had like 4 or 5. Is that right, Patrick?
There was like 4 or 5. This is the one that was like pretty much exactly stock that went up. You'll just see, like, of course, they had to add the roll cage and the protective seats. They stripped out the extra weight, but this went up Pikes Peak at the International Hill Climb. So that very, very cool that they just took a stock car up there.
It's super cool. And like we were saying, hopefully they'll have Ioniq 5 and test drives here like they did in Denver. But either way, there's the Ioniq 5, award-winning. We really love it. And we finally got to spend a week with one, a Disney one, of course. So keep an eye out for that video. It should be coming pretty soon, or it's out already. I really liked it. I really, really liked it. And I also like the Ioniq 6. It's kind of divisive. Which is your pick? It seems like people either like one or the other, but I like both, and I really like this one.
Very different body styles.
Yeah.
So very understandable that like you'll like just one or the other.
I'm not normally a sedan person, and I think this looks super retro and fun.
The rear end has been so controversial, and it's growing on me more and more. I really, really like it.
Good. You might see it in the driveway. They have great leasing deals. So now, shall we go onwards?
Let's go hit BMW. Now this is an i4. We had one, we got a video out on it. It is, a lot of people are like, it's sort of like a Model 3 size electric from BMW, but it's very tightly compact inside. But I love the way it was, the driving dynamics of it. It was a lot of fun, very powerful. And this blue is very bright. It's almost grabber blue, but not quite.
It's a bit more turquoise, huh?
And then over on this side, we have the iX M60, $111,000. But you know, it's actually interesting because it has like a gold package, not a bronze package like we find with the Mach-E. But it looks really sharp. It almost reminds me of like the Hertz GT Shelby that you can get with the Mach-E right now, but it's a little bit more subtle. So like instead of having like a full gold wheel, you have black with a little bit of accents, and of course you have like the blue M series stuff everywhere. They have a couple of hybrid BMWs as well. Everybody does a little bit of a mix of hybrids, including for the first time here Ford. We'll get to that in a second. Over here, I forgot, we do actually have the i5. We'd love to get a review of this one. We almost did the last time we were in Denver, but we ended up doing the i4. I think I like the smaller size, but this is not as big as I thought it would be in person. And I think a lot of people like it, except for the beaver T front of it. But otherwise, it's a sharp looking vehicle. And as BMW is saying, it's the electric driving machine, not just a driving machine, but the electric driving machine now.
All right, Lexus is just setting up behind us. Obviously, they have the RZ450e, which we have a video with, and I also have an article. They have a couple hybrids. RZ450e wasn't bad. It has the electrochromic roof, which was kind of fun. It's not the best range. It's kind of pricey. There's a whole bunch to it. Patrick's making a face.
Yeah,
I always try to be positive about it, because if you like that car, you like it, right? We don't care what you like. Next to us, we have Kia. They are obviously getting set up.
Getting really set up. They have some hybrids on display as well. That one that you can't tell back there, that's an EV6. And of course, somewhere around here. I see down there. I thought they might have others. But they have
an EV9.
an EV9. So sort of an interesting mix. They're doing so well with their EV lineup. And I guess, like, you know, we're coming at it from the back side, coming at it from the front side, you'll see these EV9s
Front and center.
first thing, front and center. So it's really cool. Here's like some subtle things that really make the EV9 nice. It's like the light showing through the painted front panel.
I will always say it. Like, I really like what Kia's doing. I like what Hyundai's doing too. The interior is great. If we had any reason for like a 3-row, this would be awesome.
Yeah, we don't need a 3-row. And of course, this week we had the disappointing news that Ford is canceling their 3-row EV at this time. So there's not a lot of competition out for 3-row electric SUVs. And for this price point, Kia is just killing it. Like, it's hard not to want to jump into one of these if you need that size vehicle.
Totally. And now we are obviously standing in front of Ford. Oh, no worries. They're setting up and we're just like barging around and everything. So we totally get it. So they have a great setup like they did last time. It's so nice that it's actually, ooh, my mic's getting booped, that it's actually gray. So you can sort of see what they're doing, powering a bunch of stuff with the lightnings that we're walking by. TVs, and tomorrow when it's actually like live, they're gonna have these frunks open and they'll have ice and water and everything like that.
And all we need, they did the stripe delete on this rally, but like if we got the stripes on this would be like the perfect setup for us. It's like
100%.
a grabber blue rally with
Actually,
the stripes.
Actually, no.
And a kayak on top.
And a kayak on top. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I want. But I would get it like this because I would put white stripes on.
No.
So then white stripes would bring out the rally wheels and be different.
I don't know. I
would
the
do
black.
it.
No.
I would do it. That's what I would do.
I think we go with the black if we could make it work, but I don't think.
Which we're not. It's well.
But that's a really cool setup. We're gonna go back here real quick before we're gonna skip this. Ford has decided to bring an Escape Hybrid out here.
Obviously, you can see the changes in the wave, how a lot of people have hybrids out here for people to look at.
And they had the wrong display up. So they're still setting up, so it's okay. But here's the motor for the 2024 Mustang Mach-E. And if you saw our 2024 launch of the Mustang Mach-E that we did when we were in Seattle, like we got some footage of this back then. But I love seeing like all the tech guts of the motor, and of course on the GT they have the Brembo brakes that is on display here as well. So let's keep going. We're almost done.
We have the eruption green Mach-E. It's funny because like when we first saw the eruption green in February, it's now August, we were losing our minds. It was so great and amazing. And now we're like, eruption green. It's kind of like, we're used to it.
We're used to it.
It's so amazing, but it's like,
this one doesn't have the bronze package. A lot of people were like, I like eruption green, but I don't like the bronze. You don't have to get it with the bronze package.
And let's look at the schnoz, because that makes it look quite different without the bronze package.
Yeah, and this is a premium. So it doesn't have the bronze grille or the carbonized gray grille. This is just completely eruption green up front.
So green all day.
And looks really, really just like upgraded in a way with like it's a fancy color, I guess.
Oh yeah, it looks classy.
A classy color.
Like
That's
classy.
it.
Yeah.
See, this is why I keep living around. She has the words that I need. They're already powering some TVs with the Lightning, but they'll power this entire booth with Lightnings.
Yeah.
We got 2 more manufacturers. This one we'll hit on really quickly because it's Toyota, and they have the BZ4X, which we have not driven, but we drove the sister of this, the Solterra. Really liked it. It drives really well, but the range isn't quite there, as we've said before.
And I always have to remember, okay, so the BZ4X is glossy. The Solterra is matte.
And she's talking about the wheel arches here.
Because, and all of the black is piano black on the BZ4X, and it's matte on the Solterra. So we'll see them sometimes on the road, and I'm like, Sol BZ? BZ Sol? Which is that?
Terra.
BZ4X is glossy. And then of course we have inside the Prius.
Yeah, basically everything else is hybrid except for the Mirai
Mirai.
Yeah. So there's the Mirai over there. I can't believe it's still sort of on display. I know they're really struggling with those right now. And then the final manufacturer, we're going to go over here.
Woo,
We
before I get run
actually
over.
just got to take a look at one of these. Kyle Connor was on the press drives of the EX90. And one of the things I didn't realize, I've seen this multiple times.
And basically it went right by our house, so he came over for lunch.
So these actually open up when you turn the actual headlights on. So it's like, those are like your daytime running lights, and then they open up. Check out his video. He goes into details of all of that. The other thing that I thought was neat, and we can't really get close to this one, but the premium interior has wool seats. Like, not leather seats, not vegan seats or anything like that. Well, but they're wool. So that was like sort of surprising to me. And of course, on the front, it has the little knob on the forehead. That's a LiDAR from Luminar. So
Yeah.
very cool. And of course, we've seen the XC40 recharge and the C40 recharge. But then let's skip down to this little baby blue thing down here.
Which unfortunately has been delayed. So we're getting the EX90, but the EX30 we're gonna have to wait for, and that is the one that we have a reservation for. Because if you guys know me at all, then you might know I've been waiting for a petite SUV, which is what this is. So we have a reservation in, but what did they push it to now?
I think it's 2026. And the reason is
Yeah.
this one here and the ones that we're going to make it to the US first are made in China, but there's now like 100% tariff on these because any EV made in China is going to have 100% tariff. So they're going to have to wait until their other factory, I think in Poland, comes online. So let me flippity flip and we can finish up. This view is spectacular behind us. Like, that's the whole Electrify Expo. It's really hard to see, but like way down there, like right in the middle, like right down there is the city of San Francisco across the bay.
Literally. Yeah, it's kind of trippy because this is the exact same view we had in Denver in a way. Like, they're all oriented in the same way. Toyota, Volvo, everyone is in their same order except Ford has switched. But this setup is all in a line, which I kind of like, and it's ridiculously pretty. The water is just like on one side of this whole thing. It's so cool. Like, if you're coming for a tourist event, this is kind of like sightseeing at the same time.
And as you walk down, you can glance over and see the Hornet,
yeah.
as well as those Saildrones, which is
Saildrone, yeah.
it's just really interesting. I highly recommend coming out to check out either this Electrify Expo or like one of the others. I know New York is coming up in September. I know that Austin is in November. I'm not sure where else. I think Seattle is in September as well.
Right. We
like
might try do New York.
New York's October.
We're not sure.
New York's October.
October. We might try do that. We're not sure. But it was so awesome to be able to give you guys a tour before everything happens, because it's going to be crazy when there's lots of people here. We were hoping that there wouldn't be loud music, but there was loud music to Dodge.
They started to test the music system,
Yeah.
which is understandable.
But it was so cool to be able to just get a little browse, see everyone getting set up, and also to obviously meet up with the thrill ride drivers. If you've ever wanted to do that, they're really experienced and you're in good hands. So
much
love
fun.
that.
Thank you for coming along with us on this tour. Let us know down below if you have any questions, if you want us to go more in depth on one of these tours. And, hopefully we'll get to make it to more Electrify Expos. Which ones do you want to go to? And if your city doesn't have an Electrify Expo, where should it come next? As we were coming in, we saw BJ Burtwell, who in our last Electrify Expo video, we did an interview with him. So we bump into him, we'll put a little birdie in his ear.
He runs the whole thing.
Yeah, he runs the whole thing. He's the owner of this
The
Electrify
owner,
Expo.
as he puts it. Yeah. So where would you want to see an Electrify Expo? But we didn't cover a lot of the micromobility. We've done that in some other videos. Patrick even took a test ride on the Outlet bike in our Long Beach video. So check that stuff out. And if you're interested in us covering more e-mobility, let us know. A huge thank you to our patrons whose names are scrolling across the screen. We appreciate you guys so much, and your support of this channel means that we got to be here, and we really truly appreciate that. Thank you to our YouTube members too, who you will tell by the little lightning bolts next to the name. And just remember that whatever you drive,
Whether it's at an expo
or not,
or around your city,
enjoy the ride.
bye.
Bye.